Hey yo, is Tyson Fury now the number one heavyweight over Anthony Joshua, over Deontay Wilder? Well, guess what? Carl Froch is saying, yes, he absolutely is. You have to rank Tyson Fury ahead of Anthony Joshua, and he's earned the number one spot. Let's talk about it at T King Fight News. We got more on this. All right. Now, when it comes to Carl Froch, we all know he's out of the UK, but he's a pretty fair guy when it comes to rankings. You know, apart from talking about Andre Ward, he seems to keep it real most of the time. He keeps it a buck. And when it comes to Tyson Fury, I think a lot of people saw that Wilder Fury fight, and whoever came out on top is pretty much the number one guy. I mean, let's face it, Anthony Joshua had to go to Saudi Arabia and get his revenge because he was coming off a loss against a guy who we all thought that would be a walkthrough in the first fight. We thought that was a foregone conclusion in the first fight. So that loss to Andy Ruiz that AJ suffered definitely brought him down a couple notches, right? It brought him down a couple notches. Meanwhile, Tyson Fury, off a draw with Deontay Wilder, that elevated his stock, right? Oddly enough, that elevated, especially you could argue it both ways. A lot of people thought Tyson Fury was ahead on points. It is what it is, right? They called it a draw. A lot of it had to do with the two knockdowns that Wilder was able to score. But when it comes to who's number one, you have to rank Tyson Fury number one. Now, as much as you want to bring up a controversy with Fury's gloves, with a wild boar, all that stuff aside, official record is Tyson Fury defeated Deontay Wilder by 7th round corner stoppage. And he's now the WBC champion. And WBC is in no rush to strip Tyson Fury and return any belts. They're in no rush to do that. In fact, it's highly unlikely that we see a scenario like that. Highly unlikely. But you know what? Let's talk about why you have to rank Tyson Fury number one. And this is the reason why. All right, so when it comes to Tyson Fury, Deontay Wilder, Anthony Joshua, that's a consensus top three, if I'm not mistaken. There's no other guy that you would rank number one, right? Deontay Wilder's coming off a loss. So by default, he cannot be ranked number one. The only other guy is Anthony Joshua coming off a win, beat Andy Ruiz for the titles he lost to. However, Tyson Fury, like it or not, he's the only remaining champion that is undefeated. I'll say it again, he's the only remaining champion that is undefeated. And let's just get into what Carl Froch had to say. I'm looking at the headline. Let's get into what Carl Froch had to say. That's just my take on it. If he's the only undefeated champion, he just came off a victory officially over Deontay Wilder. Not only that, but where did you rank Deontay Wilder before that fight? Because everyone has to look and say, well, where did I have Wilder ranked before the Fury fight? If you had him ranked number one, well, guess what? Fury just beat the number one guy, didn't he? Didn't he? Hold on a second. What did Carl Froch have to say? All right, so this is what he had to say. Tyson Fury is just in front of Anthony Joshua. Part of my reasoning for this is because he was the lineal champion beating Vladimir Klitschko a few years ago to become champion. He never lost the titles in the ring. He came back when everybody thought he couldn't beat Wilder, and I thought he won the first fight. Even though he got dropped twice, the rematch was so one-sided, so conclusive, and I just think you have to put him at number one above AJ. I mean, that's what Carl Froch had to say. It's not you know, he looks at it differently because he looks at the strength of the Klitschko victory, right? That was really the strongest win on his resume before all this talk about Deontay Wilder, Anthony Joshua, right? The strength of that Klitschko victory alone was was great. Now, that's just my take. I think you have to rank Fury number one. Let me know what you guys think. It's King Fight News.